Hello, my beautiful, beautiful, beautiful community. Um, I am Amanda, your intuitive BFF and fave spiritual girly, and I am welcoming you back to another episode of Awaken the Word, a journey into Christ consciousness. Um, Today, first, I just want to start off by saying, hi, how are you? This is a solo episode that we're going to do today. And I just feel really blessed to be here. And I wanted to start off today by just asking our angels and our guides, specifically Jesus and Archangel Michael, to just come in and surround you now with the highest vibration of love, of peace, of joy. So, what I felt really called to talk about today is the element of faith and walking with faith. I was praying the other day and I was praying to God and I just was asking specifically Jesus. I was like, am I just completely fucking up in life? Like, am I even on the right path? Like, what am I doing? Like, am I listening to you? And immediately after I was talking to Christ, I saw a semi truck drive by, and on the back it said, "Have you prayed today?" And then it read, and I pulled up the passage in the Bible. It says, "Seek the Lord while he may be found, call on him while he is near," from Isaiah 55:6. And that stopped me in my tracks because sometimes you feel like, and maybe I'm getting a little emotional about this, but sometimes you feel like you say your prayer, or you just like want so badly for your life to change, and you feel so stuck, and like it almost feels like no one is listening, but they are. In those moments when maybe we don't receive our sign right away, it's a call to faith. And it really had me reflect on, one, that God is always with us. This passage, I was looking up certain depictions of that like saying within the Bible, and I just truly didn't resonate with anything because I just kind of felt like it was really harsh. Um and so I asked Jesus to share like a message with me, and that I can relate with you. And the message, when I read this passage, "Seek the Lord while he may be found, call on him while he is near." It's like God God and our angels are always with us. Always. Sometimes we can forget that we walk with millions of light beings around us every day. And when we're going through something that's uncomfortable, like going through a transition or a change in our life, I feel like that's a really huge testament of our faith. And then it says, "Call on him while he is near." Jesus is just a prayer away, a simple phone call away, right? Like, when we are in need of assistance, call out to the Lord, call out to God. And I also believe that if you are seeing this video, if you are finding this message, then there's a reason for it. Then Jesus, the Holy Spirit, like whoever wanted you to see this and to remind you that your faith is powerful. Our faith is one of the strongest vibrations that we can have. Because as I've been talking about within this series, is building that bridge, that connection back to our divinity. And faith is such a powerful aspect of that foundation, of that bridge. Our faith is not built when we are in our highest states, like when we are experiencing joy, when we are experiencing like love in the highest degree. That's not where faith is built. Faith is built when we are carrying our cross and we are about to give up. Faith is built when we are on our knees asking for help, when we are asking for assistance. And all of a sudden, we just get this wisp of energy, this intuitive ping, this sign on the back of a semi truck that says, I am with you, forsake me out, I am near. And it's like God just wants us to call on him. God is waiting for us to start talking to him. Jesus is here to remind us that we don't ever have to walk alone. Like, we are not alone. And something that I heard recently, and this actually relates a lot back to that passage, and it says, danger is real, but fear is a choice. We can, live in a world where, yes, absolutely, there is danger out there. But we have the choice to choose to be fearful. We can use discernment, but it's a choice to hold fear. Just like it's a choice, we can choose to talk to God, or we can choose and to be completely open to receive and in our faith, or we can choose to let our faith waver. Sometimes we do that unconsciously. So today it's like, well, Amanda, I'm going through something and I feel like God has not answered my prayer. And what I'm going through is killing me inside. I invite you right now, if that's you, to take a step back and invite God in right now. Invite the Lord in to whatever place within your being, whether it be your heart, but whatever it is, whatever experience you're going through, invite them in. Invite them in right now. And just feel this love wash over you. Feel the presence of the Holy Spirit enter into your cells. And visualize this attachment to this way of being be released. Because there's always a different way. Sometimes we can get so fixated on like how we feel like we have to go through something, or like we have to go through something alone, but we're not. We never were meant to. Just like when Jesus was carrying his cross, Simon came in and helped him carry it. Like, we're meant to do this together. We're not meant to keep our stories and our wounds a secret. Like, we're truly meant to hold space for one another. And I feel like in that space, that's where love is found and that's where faith can be built. We're here to share our experiences with one another about how God comes to us and speaks to us in different ways, whether it be in a dream state, whether it be seeing a bird fly across your window. Like, you understand that angels are always present. So it's like, how do you continue to build your faith even when you're being tested? And I say to you that just call on Jesus, call on your angels, call on the Holy Spirit. Whoever you want to call on them. Because their love is the most powerful of all. Their love is here to resurrect whatever it is that is dying within you, to help you become reborn. When we call on Jesus, he is there with us. He's sitting here right now. He's holding space for all of us to be seen in new ways. Faith isn't about, the celebrations. Faith is about, in those darkest of times, how am I choosing to surrender over and see myself in a new way? To continue to pick up the cross that I've been carrying and to continue to move forward. How can I let something so much greater than myself take over what is hurting me so that I can feel freedom? So I want to offer up a few ways to help resurrect your faith today. Because sometimes we are in this state of we have to see it in order to believe it, but that is a belief system that I'm going to ask and invite you to forgive today, to surrender today. Because in order to become our divinity, our highest self, we must be able to believe and trust in what we are not able to see, but we can feel within our heart. So, a call back to faith. Begin praying. Begin actively talking to your guides, to Jesus, to God every day. Whether you are still suffering from addiction, which a lot of us still are, ask them to come to you, to be with you in those moments when you smoke a cigarette, when you drink another cup of coffee, like whatever it is that you just somehow are fixated upon, just ask them to be with you. Don't hold yourself in contentment or judgment. Just ask them to be with you. And slowly, what you will find is that your faith will start to increase to where the addiction is no longer, because it has been replaced by something so much greater than anything outside of yourself. So begin to pray and call on them, talk to them like they are your best friends. Start to build relationships with them. And maybe through this relationship building, right, you learn to pick up the Bible and ask Christ, like, what would you have me know? You know, Jesus walked this earth teaching us how to let go of our ego and our attachments, how to build that faith within ourselves, within God, so that we can return to our state of purity, to this freedom. So call on Him, for He is near. He is waiting with open arms, like the story of the prodigal son, to welcome you home. And we're so scared because it's like we feel like we're not worthy of this love. And I'm here to remind you that you are. That just because someone said that they won't be able to forgive you for something doesn't mean that God will not forgive you. Amazing Grace, that song was about how even in the deepest of quote unquote mistakes, right? I don't like the word sin, of mistakes, God will always forgive you. It is we who hold ourselves in contentment as the prisoners of our own mind that latch on to this idea that we cannot be forgiven for what we have done. But Jesus is here to remind us that we are forgiven. And Jesus is here to help us release the shackles that we have attached ourselves to. So call on Him. Start building a relationship with Him, whatever that relationship is. And of course, it's going to be outside of the church because it's your own unique relationship. It's how you live your everyday life. Jesus is going to show you so much more that you can offer to yourself just by having a simple conversation with Him. And, the third thing I want to emphasize is, getting outside and experiencing life itself. The most beautiful way to really double down in our faith and to strengthen our relationship in ourselves is to trust ourselves and honor ourselves. And how can we do that? By experiencing life. So let's say we go out and do something that maybe in retrospect we probably shouldn't have done. Well, wonderful. Now we're building a relationship with ourselves and understanding what is for us and what is not. Maybe we do something that we really enjoy and we feel that vibrational alignment. And now we know we're building this faith in ourselves, that we have ourselves, that we are empowered and we know ourselves. We know what we like, we know what we don't like. And therefore, I trust myself To trust yourself is to know yourself. To know yourself is to trust yourself. So the way to build faith is by building that relationship with you, to build that courage, that strength within yourself, that you have the power to move through any obstacle that is presented in your way, because you understand and you see it as a beautiful opportunity to rise above and to experience the gift in the uncomfortable, in the growth, the gift in the growth. So go out and experience life. Don't be afraid to fuck up. Don't be afraid to mess up, because you know that you are loved at the end of the day. You know that you are so loved. So perfectionism doesn't exist. Being perfect doesn't exist. But being real, that exists. That's true. So go out there and experience life. Don't be afraid to mess up. Just be real with yourself. And that's how you're going to build your faith. So to summarize today, I just want to say a prayer over all of you that, one, I am so honored and proud of you to be here in this moment with you, just walking with you on this spiritual journey, and to just bring and rise to Christ within us by calling on the one who is the I am, to come and be with us in all ways, all of our days. And I just pray love, I pray guidance, and I pray joy and healing over your lives and within your hearts. And I pray that we open ourselves up to receive the miracle and the divine blessings from God, and to allow Christ to change our vision so that it is set on the truth and not of the illusion that this world creates. So with that, I invite you to just take one deep breath in and let it go. As we just come back home to ourselves, and I just pray Jesus with you for the remainder of your day. And if any of these messages resonated with you at all, be sure to like, share, and follow along, because again, we're here to support each other, to build this community together of intuitive besties. This entire podcast is here to help you come back home to your intuitive voice, so that way you can fulfill your soul's purpose, and also in that process help to awaken not only your heart but the hearts of others and the lives that you'll touch with the grace of God. So thank you guys so much for joining me today, and I just hope you have a blessed rest of your day. So much love to you.